So the first thing that you're going to do once you have your measurement of your space is decide how many actual cabinets you want. I am doing 3, and my overall measurement was 110 and a half. But the way it's going to work is 2 cabinets come into a corner. So in order to get our actual measurement, we need to remove the 12 inches for the other cabinet. This is our 16-inch cabinet on the left. Our 12 is the one on the right. So we're going to remove that, and then you want to take that number and divide it, or I subtracted an inch because I wanted to have a little bit of room to play with, and then I divided that number by 3, and I came out with 32.8, which is 32 3/4. So we're going to take that and cut all of our material down. Since we got 3 cabinets, we need 3 backs. And then the way I'm doing it, because I can't put it all in one as one big section, I'm doing, I'll need 2 sides per cabinet, a top, a bottom, and a middle per cabinet, not counting the adjustable shelves. So essentially, per cabinet, I need 2 16 inches, which I went 15 1/4 to subtract for my face, because I'm using 3/4 inch material for my face. So I went 15 1/4. You'll need the 2 sides, and then since it's 32 inches, we can get all 3 top, middle, bottom out of 1 8-foot board. So we've cut our material down now, and we're going to start assembling. I'm going to bring you in a little closer. We have our 2 sides, and we're going to call this our top. Since we're using 3/4 inch material, all this is, I'm making my cabinets, my cabinet's 8 foot tall by 32 3/4 wide. Just to check, yep. So what we're going to do is draw us a line that is 3/8 of an inch from either side and the top. Now on the bottom it'll be a little different because we have a base on it. So all I'm going to do is measure my 3/8 of an inch here. Get my pencil right, draw me a line, and this is the ugly side of our plywood, which will be the back. It'll be the side that not, you won't see this side. I should mention also, when you're cutting down your sheets, you want one that is the width and height of whatever size you're building. 8 foot by 32 3/4. That's our back. The 2 sides will be 8 foot by whatever depth you want. I'm doing 16, but then you want to subtract. Technically, you want to subtract 1.5 inches. That's 3/4 for your backer, 3/4 for your face. And then for the top, middle, and bottom, you want to subtract 1.5 inches also, because they will be sitting inside of our sidewalls. So once we've got them all cut out, we want to go through, and about every 8 to 12 inches, I'm going to countersink a screw, just because I don't want anything hitting my wall. Not that it should matter, but I'm going to go through and drill those out. Now, once we have dealt with drilling all of our sides, for our bottom, you're going to want to be 3.5 inches to the top of your plywood, your base, your plywood that's on your base. So you want to take and go 3.5. You want to go 3.5, and then you want to subtract 3/8 of an inch, which will give you 3 1/8 inches, and that's where you're going to pre-drill those holes. Now, once our holes are drilled, what I like to do is I have him up on my table here. So I flip him like this. Make sure you don't have any burrs sticking out. And I slide him off the edge of the table. Then we're going to take one of our walls here. And what I'm using here is just some 2-inch torque head screws. And all you're going to do is, this is our top down this way. You're just going to stand your wall here. And now mind you, you see this side? He's ugly. So you don't want to face him in, because he'll be seen. So you want to make sure you face your pretty side in. You line up your top edge here, and we're going to run a screw up through it. You just want to make sure he's flush with the edge of your back. There we go. We get one in there. Now we're going to come to this other end. Now if you've noticed you got a bad wane in it, you may want to start in the middle and worm your board. If you don't know what worming means, I have a video. I'll try to put it up here so that you can see what I'm talking about. Otherwise, if you look pretty straight, then you can go ahead, get him lined up, and screw him down. Once he's screwed down, you can screw the rest of this side and go ahead and move to the next side and do it. Once you've got your two sides, you want to come up here on one of the sides. This is our bottom, and we're going to go 3 1/8. We're going to go here and do the same thing. Draw us a line and pre-drill our holes going down the sides, and then we'll go to the top, do the same thing, and then we'll go midways, do the same thing, and we'll install our our base, our middle, and our top. So now we're going to start putting in our cross shelves, and all I did is drill a line at 3 1/2 inches all the way around for our base shelf. Now when you go to install your middle shelf or drill your holes, you want to make sure you're at 49 inches because we're at 3 1/2 here and 1.5 inches up there. So if you go 48 inches, it won't be centered, so you need to go 49 inches. So from here, all we did was drill holes through our walls and through our back. Now all we do is mount our shelves. And there we go. Our first box is built. Yes, these are tall. Yes, these are big. But you don't have to make them that big. You can go 6'8", 7 foot, 5 foot, whatever you choose. Now that we've got this, we'll go ahead and build our other 2 boxes, and then we'll start our face frames. So for our face frames, the way I like to do it, especially with this one, since I know that's 8 foot, what I'm going to do is cut me 2 8-footers, and then I'm going to cut me 3 for my cross shelves. And then when we get into the adjustable shelves, now if you're doing stationary shelves, then you would actually go ahead and your shelves would be in here. I'm doing adjustable because I want to give her the option to do, to put whatever she wants on there. So for me, this is the end of my box. I just got to make my face. We'll need to subtract the width of our 2 stiles to cut our rails, and I'm using 1.5 inch material for that, so I would need to subtract 3 inches, so that 32 would be 29 3/4, 32 3/4 would be 29 3/4. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut them all out, and then I'll put them together. All right, I've cut my 2 8-footers, and I've cut my 2 1.5 by 29 3/4, and I've cut my 1 1x4 by 29 3/4. And all you're gonna do here is pick the pretty side and put it facing down. If you're doing it, if you have one of these corner guns, that is. If you don't have one of these corner guns, then you can put it directly on the face, butt everything up, and face nail it. We're still going to face nail it. This is just so I can build the whole frame and fit it. So anyways, all we're going to do is butt up our rails to our stiles and nail them off, and then put him on the face of our box and nail him down. All we have left is to fit our face on, see how she looks. Now, mine is going to be painted. That's why I'd face nail it even if I wasn't painting it. But that's why I don't worry too awful much about my joints, because I can putty or caulk them. If you're planning on staining yours, well, then you may need to pay a little more attention to it. Once we get our face on it, what you want to do is start in the corner here. This corner looks good. And we just want to throw us a nail in there. And we're going to come down to this corner, get him right, and throw us a nail in there. Then we're good to go ahead and nail off this whole side. So we're going to do that. Notice that I'm not turning my gun this way, turn it this way. The reason is that helps you stop blowout, and once again, if you'd like to watch a video on it, I've got one I'll put here, and it may help you out. So we're going to nail him off. There. Once we've got him nailed off, we'll check and see how square our face is, which finds the shade off, so I could just get him right. See, if I shove him down and get him right, so we'll get him there, throw us a nail in him, like so, to hold, and then we'll check that corner, make sure life's wonderful, and we can nail him off all the way around. All right, the last thing we need to do before painting, or patching and painting, is we're going to go ahead and drill our shelf pins. Now, some people don't. Some people think that they should paint and then do it, and that's fine. I tend to scratch my paint up when I do it, so I like to go ahead and do it first, and then I'll take and ream out the holes. So, all we're going to do, the way this guy works, see the holes, and then I got this guy, and we're just going to put him in, and that first one, we're not going to start until the center of the jig, only because you're not going to put a shelf within 6 inches of the top. So, or the bottom, for that matter. Anyways, so we're going to start, and all you do, drill your holes. And then once you get the first one drilled, you slide him down to line him up, drill more. All right, now that we've got him painted up, it's time to install. First thing you would want to do in this situation is take a stud finder and go ahead and find your studs. I'm actually working in an older house, so whoever came in and put the sheetrock put it directly over TNG covering, so anywhere I put a screw, it's going to hold. But what you're going to want to do is take your first cabinet, and you would want to check the level of the floor. Once again, old house, so the way mine is working, we're going to put all of the cabinets together and then screw them to the wall. Now, once we have our shelves together, we're going to take us a clamp, and we're going to clamp the two faces and line them up, and then we're going to take an 1¼ inch screw right behind the face and screw into the other cabinet. And then keep in mind when you do this where you enter the room, because we're still going to putty and paint those screw heads, but you don't want to put it here, because as you enter the closet, this is what you see. This is what you see. So if we put them on the other side, it kind of helps us to hide those screw holes. Once you've got them screwed together, all we have to do now is attach them to the wall. Now, you could call yourself finished from here if you don't want to do anything else. You can install the shelves and be done. As for me, I wanted it to be a little more decorative, so I laminated a few pieces of wood together to make this here, and it'll fit right over that, like so. And all we're going to do is put him on the face here, and we're going to nail him through the back into our cover piece, and then we'll run crown between them. Now that we've got our covers on, we're going to just run a piece of crown from between each one. And if you don't know how to cut crown, luckily this is just square cut, so it's easy. But if you need help, I have a video, and I'll try to link it here. It may help you out with cutting crown. And there you go. Once you get your shelves in, you're ready to start storing your stuff in your closet system here. So if you enjoyed the video, maybe give me a like, a subscribe, a comment, anything like that. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep making dust.